So I had heard all of the different refugee outreach organizations coming up in the news, and I tried emailing them, and nobody replied at all. It's like, I speak Arabic, I can really be useful here, and just nobody replied. So I was motivated, and I emailed Rob Maupin, and he said, funny you are interested in this, we're starting this, so why don't you talk to Philip? I was really motivated, it didn't fall in my lap. My refugee family is amazing. We sat down and Sameh was really warm and welcome. He had a very positive point of view of world relief, depended on them completely. And he told me the whole story about working for the military and a lot of the terrible things that had happened that forced him to leave, the difficulty of adjusting to the U.S. But we were there for 2 or 3 hours. We shared a meal. I mean, it was like our best friends that we had never met before. I think it's more the perspective of what people go through when they're here. The thing that Sameh talks about every time I go see them is the adjustment to life in the United States. When you live in Iraq or Syria or Turkey or any country in the Middle East, it's a very urban culture. For Sameh, he's used to his neighbors being around him. Even from a war zone, you know everybody in the neighborhood. If you're sick, you have 20 of your neighbors and their aunts and uncles and your cousins and your cousin's cousin come over to bring you food and help with the kids and just take care of absolutely everything, including your finances. And when you live in Fort Worth in an apartment, and you walk outside and you look around, there are thousands of apartments and not a single person. He has no social network, no social safety net to take care of him, and he's a mechanic, doesn't speak English, so he's trying to figure out what kind of jobs can I do, where do I go, how do you support a family of 4 at $10 an hour, where do I go to the doctor when I'm sick? I don't have the money to pay for this, and just questions that are so obvious to you that you know the system and it wouldn't occur to you. He's dealing with all of these things at exactly the same time, removed from family, removed from cultural knowledge, removed from language knowledge. He's just thrown in the deep end, and it's overwhelming. I think the average person needs to get outside themselves and think about what a refugee means. For me, it's about they're here. And I always thought of missions as flying around the world to go serve people in, some remote jungle in Africa, and I don't have running water. And the big realization for me was there's an aching need for Christ 10 miles from my house, and I happen to have a language skill set where I can go minister to people directly. And it doesn't mean go thump them over the head with the Bible. It means go love them, go sit with them, listen to them, cry with them, help them out in modest ways, not as the Santa Claus bringing gifts, but showing them how to take care of themselves. It's an opportunity to minister to the most desperate and needy people who are deserving of the assistance that I can give them, not material, just to sit with them and love them without conditions.